Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you again for joining us on this special edition, or at least when the show comes out, it will be Spy Thursday. Oh boy, Spy Wednesday, not Thursday. It's Holy Thursday. Spy Wednesday, otherwise Holy for Wednesday, and we're doing this because today's topic is about why aren't Holy Week masses obligatory to attend? Why aren't they mandatory? Why, we go to mass every Sunday because that's, we are obligated to go to mass. That's the law. That's what Christ said. And I mean, but why is, we're in Passion Tide, where we're going to enter the Easter Triduum here shortly. We are in the home stretch of Lent. We are in the holiest, may I say that again, we are in the holiest time of the year, but why aren't the masses and Good Friday service, because it's not technically a mass, only one day of the year that the mass is not celebrating, why aren't they obligated? And the answer might surprise you, because if you're like a lot of probably non-Catholics, also even Catholics, and do I say lukewarm? I don't mean lukewarm, even very dedicated Catholics kind of maybe wrestle with this thought a lot. They're like, it's during the work week. I know Holy Week's a very important time, but it's a work week. It's during the work day. Like, if it's not obligatory to attend, why should I attend? I can still practice, on Good Friday, the fast and the abstinence, like the church, calls us to, and maybe spending a little bit more time in prayer and just meditating on just the truth of them. But why should I make time, maybe take off work, whether for a couple hours, whether the whole day, and really reflect on this time and go to mass? Again, we'll have a couple short, quick answers, and hopefully that helps. But again, without further ado, please like and share the show wherever you find the show, as well as show topic and speaker requests. I always get that mixed up. I don't know why. But show topic and speaker requests, please email us at catholictt@gmail.com. Again, it's catholictt@gmail.com, the official email of Catholic Table Talk Podcast. Also, visit our webpage. Everything you can see down in the description box below. We're on most podcast platforms. If you're new to the show, welcome. Glad to have you on board. If you're new, if you're an old, great listener of the show, please make sure, like I said, to share the show. Give us a review on the podcast platform that you're listening to us on. Also, just write a review, writing it as well. It helps us reach more people as well that way. And of course, hit the notification button so you never miss a week's show. And yeah. So also sports. Man, it's been a long letter. I think my English is not too good today. Sponsorship, merchandise, donations, feedback, everything else, like I just said about the email. Email to us as well, or direct message to us on social media, and we can give you a hand on sponsorship and all that great stuff as well as we continue to go. So again, why on this special edition of Catholic Table Talk, why are Holy Week masses mandatory? I recently, texted my pastor about it, because he always says, he has said you should go at least once every 3 years to, the Holy Week masses. But like he said just recently, maybe you should just go every year, because again, this is the holiest time of the year. It's the Holy Week. It's not Holy Week for no reason. And also on episode 97 last year, we did a whole show on what do the Holy Week days mean, like Spy Wednesday, Holy Thursday, on Monday, Thursday, Good Friday. What do they mean? What is happening, and also what can you and your family do on those days? So check out that show. We'll have the link to it hopefully down below as well in the show notes. Episode 97. Again, what are Holy Week days and what you can do with them. But again, going back to the text with my pastor about why aren't Holy Week masses obligatory to attend, and he basically said there's no really definite answer. They're just not. They always have it been, and so there's really, as long as we know, they have not been holy days of obligation to go to. Now, I mean, you might think, well, some holidays are like Our Saints' Day. I mean, no offense, but why do we have a feast or why do we have a mass for Our Saints if obligated to refresh? Why should we go to Our Saints' Mass when Jesus, was crucified and we're entering into the holiest time of the year? Why don't we go? Why shouldn't we go to Our Saints then? I mean, why should we? Because it's Our Saints. Like, I mean, the saints, they were humans just like us. Or, but Christmas, that is probably one of the holy days of obligation, no matter what day of the week is, that yes, I mean, that everyone really makes a purpose to go to. And the same thing with Easter Sunday, but the thing is with Easter Sunday, by the time the Easter Vigil or Easter Sunday morning Mass rolls around, it's back to the Sunday obligation. So again, there's no really clear-cut evidence of why or fact of why Holy Week Masses and Good Friday service is not obligated to attend. Again, really it's just Holy Thursday and the Good Friday service because again, and Easter Vigil too. Some people, I have done both. You just go to Easter Vigil and that's your Easter Sunday Mass. It's kind of works out as an obligation to a degree. At least we always, did it when I'm growing up, or you just go to Sunday morning. You don't really go to all of them. You can. I recommend that many people do. But yeah, so again, it's not really clear cut. Now, some of the excuses people might make, you might make, I'm not putting you in the spot, I'm just saying, is why should I go to these masses during the work week? Again, maybe we've, had it, maybe I had a bad week to it, maybe, you're kind of going through the stages of losing a couple family members and you're taking a lot of time off work to attend or friends' funerals or, something that's really like, I don't want to take any more time off work, so why should I go? And really, the only answer that I really came up with is like you see it on posts sometimes is, if you don't want to go to Mass, why do you want to go to heaven? And again, like Ash Wednesday, it's not a holy day of obligation. And it's highly recommended. And again, if you don't want to go to Mass, why do you want to go to heaven? Because you are what you receive, and if you can receive Jesus and say a grace at Mass as often as you can, you become more like Him. Now, I know it's not weekday Mass where it might be at noon, so you take off during a lunch break. It might only be for half an hour, so even if you have an hour-long break, maybe you have a little time afterwards to kind of grab a bite to eat someplace. But the thing is, at least on Thursday, you have to have it after like sundown or around sundown. So, usually it's like 7 o'clock, 7:30. Maybe it's a little, sometimes it's, some places it is like a 5 or something. But it's really not that bad. Maybe work a couple extra hours during the week, before, and a few days before. So, Holy Thursday shouldn't really be a big obstacle to get to Mass, besides you just kind of skipping it. Again, it's not obligated, but it's highly recommended. And this is, again, the holiest time of the year with all the graces, with just walking with Jesus through His passion, like we are called to walk through Him the 4 days of Lent. So again, it's, if you don't want to go to Mass, then why do you want to go to heaven? And Holy Thursday, there's really even there's not a lot of sporting events or anything that, again, ultimately, you're putting other things before God to attend instead of going to mass. And again, I'm not saying that, like, okay, that's great. I'm just not really living out my Catholic faith that well. I didn't have as good of let as I liked, or, as I hoped, or whatever the case might be. I mean, I'm still in the state of grace. I'm still a Catholic. I'm still doing my best every single day. But I just don't really want to, I just feel like let's been kind of a fizz, and I really don't want to go to church because I don't want to go before God and walk with Him during this time, because if I can't walk with Him during 40 days, how can I walk with Him for at least 3 days? Yeah, fair point, but God's love and mercy is so rich that He doesn't care. Again, even if you're going to stay in mortal sin, you should attend Mass. You can't receive the Eucharist, but you should still attend. And just stay grace. Again, what better place to get renewed and to know that you're loved than the Holy Mass and to participate in it? Really, maybe you have not done well for 40 days, but you go, and those 3 days can be life-changing. So, you never know. And of course, Good Friday service, there's no Mass. Again, the only one day of the year there's no Mass celebrating. Again, if you can't make it, it's a little harder, I understand, because you might still have school, you might have work, but again, it's all right, at least in America, to go to religion, go to church. So, again, unless you're having, again, I'm not sure to say less. The only possible reason why you shouldn't go to Good Friday service, because that's what Jesus, basically, when you think about Catholicism, when you think about Christianity, that's one of the things that you really think about is the crucifixion. If you can't go to church and, pray, meditate, talk to God, pray, and probably even cry about what Jesus did for you, then again, why do you want to go to heaven? Because chances are you're not on the path to heaven if you don't want to go to Good Friday service. And most importantly, pay attention, participate in it. Again, you touch the wood of the cross, even though it's not the same cross that Jesus died on, but touch the wood and just be reminded of the crucifixion. We are reminded of that every Mass, but especially on Good Friday. And again, it's one day, take it off from work, spend time with family, fast, everything, that stuff. Who cares? It might be over an hour long service, but again, this is the holiest time and one of the biggest days of the year. So, what other things could you be doing? And of course, again, Easter Vigil. Some people go to it for the Sunday obligation. Some people go to it. They don't go to it. Some people do. It's a lot of things happening. It's a long Mass, but it's still very beautiful. And I don't let me tell you, by the time you're halfway or most of the way through it, the Easter season, the Easter feeling, the Easter, rejoicing really, really sets into your soul, which is, I think, is really incredible. At least it does for me. Just because you have made it, you have made the journey, and again, we're still on the life journey, but we have made it through another Lenten journey, and with a new renewed heart, hopefully, and continue on with. And again, Easter season is 40 days, just like Lent. So, but again, back to why aren't masses obligating? During Holy Week. Well, maybe it's a weekday mass, so maybe the church knows that, we are work, so we can't make it to church. Well, again, in America, at least, it's your right to go to church. And if you're worried about taking more time off, make that a sacrifice, Whether you're going to get paid or not, make that a sacrifice, give it to God, and, get there to church. So, again, I hate to say it, but there's really no definition of why are Holy Week Masses and Ash Wednesday Mass obligated. They're just not. but they're highly recommended. And I would strongly suggest that if you have not really made it a tradition to go every year to these masses and the Good Friday service, I highly recommend that you start this year. Um, just because. Because again, if you don't want to go, I mean, that's really in itself a test. I mean, you know, if you're not really giving God more time during Holy Week, and again, I'm not saying that you're a great Catholic. I'm not saying, I mean, we're all called to do more during Holy Week, more prayer, more meditation, more fasting, whatever. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe the only thing you do more of is you go to church and you just give your life over to God and you really meditate and participate in the Holy Week Masses and Good Friday service. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what God's calling you to be. I don't know. That's on you. But again, just like weekday masses, we're not obligated to go, but we're highly suggested to go if we can, if there's a church nearby, if we can make it, if, as again, that's, we're putting, always putting things over God more. So, and I know you can't always make it, and that's fine. But again, if there's a church right down the street, and you can make it instead of watching, political news for 2 hours, well, take an hour and go to church. So, and I mean, there are leaks of, you know, if you look this up, why aren't Holy Week masses obligated? I mean, there's really nothing that really says about it either. I mean, it basically says, what is Holy Week? Is Holy Thursday a day of obligation? Why should Catholics observe holy days of obligation? Why Catholics don't eat meat on Fridays? It's just lots of different, other things besides this again, which really sums up again my pastor's point. There's really no definite reason or answer to mean they should be obligated, but you should try and make it. You should act to try to get to mass and purify soul with that. So anyway, you can look up for yourself and see if you got anything else. I'd love to hear it in the feedback section in the comments below. I mean, again, and then you kind of going off, well, how trusty are these sites? How are they, so basically, if you're not getting it from a good Catholic resource, then maybe hesitate. Make sure you have a clear conscience on when you're reading this stuff too. So, which, I mean, again, like just real quick, holy days of obligation. I mean, you got the solemnity of Mary on January 4th. Of course, you got all the Sunday days of obligation. You got Our Saints Day. You got the Incarnation, Immaculate Conception, the Christmas Day, All Saints, I said, and I feel like I'm missing one. But that's it. So there's only 5 to whatever, how many days, holy days of obligation. So, my personal opinion, they should make it into, Good Friday and Holy Thursday, holy days of obligation. Maybe not Good Holy Saturday, but we'll see. Again, what you think? Send us it in the comments below, and let's have a discussion on this, and talk to your friends and family about it, see what they think. So, and most importantly, go to the masses. No matter how bad or how great your let was, go to Holy Week masses, because I guarantee you, you're gonna go closer to Jesus, and you're gonna celebrate Easter a little bit more, with a little bit more joyfully and a little bit more just relaxed fully, which is great. So, stay in the state of grace, go to the sacraments, go to church this week, and we'll see you next week when the show comes out. Happy Easter. Otherwise, this is a great show to any other time you want to do it as well. So, give it a like and, like I said, share it, and we'll see you next time right here at Catholic Table Talk. Take care, my friends.